It's the end of an era. Wide receiver one, Jakeem Grant, has been officially traded to the Chicago Bears for a sixth-round pick. I um I asked you on the Colts review podcast, which you can check out on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify. I asked you if you thought anyone was going to get cut this week. As kind of like this isn't good enough. We're not tolerating this no more. And team no one was cut, but someone was traded, and it was Jakeem Grant. He was the first piece to fall, I guess. What do you make of that?
Wide receiver one, Jakeem Grant. Yo, it's a family. We all friends and all the good stuff. It's a vibe. We said this preseason. Some of our favorite Miami Dolphins aren't going to be here no more. Some of us didn't think Jakeem Grant was going to make the team. I wonder if it makes a way for Kurt Merritt. Like, yo, we need new blood, just new blood. You know what I'm saying? I wonder who else is on the bubble now. I gotta imagine this is head's got to roll. And I told you, like, yo, I'm a supervisor. I promise my head's not rolling first. You know what I'm saying? And that's Greer and Flores. Like, yo, we told y'all. And this is not it. This ain't it. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond but across the world. I'm Charlie Touche. I got Kadeem Simmons with me. Always for the fans, by the fans. Fresh cut. Like, I feel comfortable. I'm in the comfort of my own home for the first time in like forever. I don't have to record in the hotel room no more. You know what I'm saying? I got more Dolphin attire at my disposal, you know what I'm saying? I'm on the way to London in less than 24 hours, Kadeem. Like, and I still don't feel like I'm on the way to London. I'm going to be real with you. I haven't packed yet. However, it's not going to take me long to pack. And I feel like there's so many hurdles left still. Like, there's a passenger locator form that has to be filled out because of COVID. There's negative COVID tests that had to happen, tested negative. There's all types of information that still needed to be filled out in a window. Like, it has to be done within 3 days of your flight, 2 days before your flight, 24 hours before your flight to leave the country. It's a lot that has to happen for me and LB to make this thing work. And we're just jumping through all the loops, jumping through all of them. Check, 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 check. We're going to get to the plane tomorrow, and there's going to be some more checks that we have to keep going through. And I can't even get excited as I want to get. So, man, we on the way to London. It feels like it's going to happen, but we about to find out for real.
Yeah, on the Jakeem Grant stuff, it's as always. It's always after the fact. So you're now hearing, okay, the Dolphins tried to trade him away in the off season, didn't happen. So it's like what you said. They basically said to him, take a pay cut or you're gone. And he took a pay cut. He stuck around. But it's always with the talent the team has in the building now. Jakeem Grant was seen as the likely cut, the likely guy who is going to be gone sooner rather than later. And I think his showings in the past 3 games basically have meant that the one thing you're meant to be good at, returning kicks. The moment you stop doing that, your time there is done. And if I don't know if it's as simple as saying if Jakeem Grant didn't muff that punt, then he'd still be here today. But I do feel like saying if Jakeem Grant didn't muff that punt, he might still be here today. It's if Jalen Waddle muffs a punt, is what it is. You're a rookie, you're a first round pick, but there's other stuff that you can do for the team.
Mm-hmm.
But even with Will Fuller out with a broken finger, which you haven't discussed yet, but even with Will Fuller out, there's Jalen Waddle, Devontae Parker, Albert Wilson. You might see Preston Williams. You might see Kirk Merritt. And that's not even getting into the tight ends as well. So it's like, Jakeem Grant, what do you really bring to the team now if we can't trust you to return? If we can't trust you to play on special teams, what do you bring to the team? In terms of you coming to London, listen, there's so many hurdles left in terms of, like you said, positive, negative COVID tests, all that kind of stuff. But to me, it's like once you get over here, that's like the biggest hurdle overall. Once you're on that plane and you touch down in London, then things can start rolling. I got the confirmation email on Monday that I got my first pass to the Dolphins game. So we from now basically we've got to start thinking of questions to ask Brian Flores. We had to listen. Guys are going to get lent on. If we don't see positive performance against the Jags, there's going to be some, Brian, Coach Flores, what's happening? What's going on? So, very quickly, from now until, I guess, the Jags game in London, if there's any questions you want me to ask Brian Flores or any Dolphins players, coach and staff members, drop it in the comments below. Hit us up on Twitter at GoTime Dolphins or at Kadeem Simmons on Twitter or at Charlie Touche on Twitter. Now's the time. Now's the time to ask him, why is Myles Gaskin only getting 2 touches, playing 12 snaps? Why are we not seeing Mike Gesicki until the fourth quarter? Why is it, Javon Holland? I think Javon Holland played something like 19 snaps against the Colts. Yeah.
Hollywood Holland. Listen, I misspoke on the last episode. I said Myles Gaskin had averaged 4.5 yards a carry before the game. My bad. It was 5.7. Like, dog averages 5.7 yards a carry, bro. I don't. Just give it to him twice. We got the first down. And he only got 2 touches.
And I saw people defending why Malcolm Brown started, because apparently Malcolm Brown was the highest graded pass blocker.
Yeah.
So people were like, oh, so this is why he's starting. I don't start you. Like, you're a running back. Like, run the ball. And again, if you can't run the ball, I'll bring in an extra offensive lineman. It says a lot that our offensive lineman can't block, but I can bring in someone to do that job. If you can't run the ball, get off my team.
Bro. What we doing, man? What we doing? Like, listen, are we like giving lessons? Like, hey, this is a lesson. You need to learn how to block and you need to get your assignments better. All right, cool. You gotta carry out your assignments. I get that. 5.7 yards a carry, though. 2 touches. For everybody listening on audio, we on video now. It's not the same. Y'all got to come holler at us on YouTube because it's a thing now. And we about to be out here. We hope to have been further along than what we are in the COVID world and in the Charlie Touche got a promotion world and in the Kadeem Simmons got a new gig world. Like, there's some speed bumps we got to jump over. But, man, we growing. We appreciate everybody who's rocking with us thus far. Y'all already know what time it is. It's Go Time Dolphins, the Miami Dolphins podcast that goes not only across the pond, but across the world. Charlie Touche, Kadeem Simmons, Jakeem Grant got traded. What's going to happen, bro?
I don't know. I think first and foremost, you probably now see Jalen Waddle on special teams, unless they give it to Noah. But who knows? So, okay, just say we get Jalen Waddle on special teams. I don't know if this trade is the one which, you can get away with in terms of you can make an example of Jakeem Grant.
Mm-hmm.
He's been traded come, Tuesday practice, Wednesday practice, teams together on the field, and Brian Flores, steps up. wasn't happy with his performances. No one is safe here. Don't care whether you're drafted in the first round or the 7th round. If you're not performing, then off you go. Now, if that is what he said, then that has to go not just to the players, but to the coaching staff as well. And like you said, head's got a role, but ain't my head. But if the offensive coordinators don't get it sorted, someone's got to go. Now, Brian Flores has again come out and said that he's basically happy with with the preparation. He said it's not the preparation, it's we're not executing. They once again tried to get him to answer who is the play caller on offense. He said that Charlie Fry is the one who feeds the plays in. I'm not going to tell you who plays. Yeah. Honestly, I don't care. And this is me speaking as a fan. Like, I don't need to know who's calling Buns plays. You're calling Buns plays. Like, it's like if you go to McDonald's or Wendy's. I've never had Wendy's before. I actually think they've just opened up a Wendy's in Stratford in Westfield. So if they do, I'm actually going there. But
bro, you never had Wendy's?
Never had Wendy's.
They don't endorse us, so it don't matter. But
yeah,
but
like you go to generic fast food restaurant, and there's a hair in your milkshake. I don't need to know whose hair is in the milkshake. I just know the hair in the milkshake. Change it, fix it. I don't care. I'm not going to be in the background with a magnifying glass looking at, is it blonde hair? Again, I don't care. Change it, fix it. So for me personally, I don't care who the offensive coordinator is. I don't care who the one who's calling plays. Just fix it. Just get better. And if people want to shout at someone, then shout at someone. But I don't care. So yeah, Jakeem Grant is probably the one where you say, okay, you guys are all on notice. But then I'm sure Devontae Parker's like, no, we're not. Because Devontae Parker's like, you're not cutting me. Again, you might trade me, but you're not cutting me. Jalen Waddle's there going, you probably won't get rid of me either. And if anything, given what we've seen happen to Eric Flowers and Shaq Lawson and Carl Van Noy, everyone's on notice. Because, people have gone for a lot less. People have gone for a lot less. So in terms of what happens next, it's someone on social media, apologies for who this was, put it very well. There's no more winnable games on the schedule because the Colts was a winnable game. The Colts was the game which we went, okay, they're injured, they're 0-3, winnable game. When you lose that game, there's no such thing as a winnable game no more. Every game is going to... We need to now respect every single team in the NFL because we show that we can't beat Buns teams. And when you can't beat Buns teams, end of. It's that simple. And like, I'll end on this. As you mentioned very earlier, you got promotion at work. I've got a new job. Dude, I'm tired. I am exhausted. I'm just here so I don't get fired. At the moment, I'm in auto mode. Charlie messaged me, are we recording tonight? If we can go in 15 minutes, we're recording. If we can't, I'm going to sleep. So at the moment, you're just going to get a very, very tired Kadeem. And, when the Dolphins are winning, it's fun. When the Dolphins are winning, primetime podcasts are amazing. When the Dolphins are losing, I swear to God, Charlie, I'm going to start swearing. Like, this is going to, we start putting some 15 ratings on it. Charlie, I am so close to blowing the fuse and swearing on this podcast. Where down, dude? I can't do it no more. I can't.
But, bro, I think you put it well, bro. I think that's it. Like, I think you said what people feel. I think that's how the Dolphin fans feel right now. It's hard to be optimistic when there's nothing to be optimistic about.
Yeah.
Tua's coming back. Cool. Tua's coming back. Half the fan base doesn't believe in Tua anyway.
Yeah.
got Tampa.
Like,
It's this is the third episode in a row where we said the phrase winnable game. That's not how it's supposed to be used. Winnable game is like when this you're not expected to win, and you should be able to pull it off, and it's close. It's winnable. You're not. The Colts aren't a winnable game. You're supposed to win. You're not supposed to. Oh, this is a winnable game. No, you're supposed to win that game. We had control first half. Whole first half, we were in control, and I watched it back now, and we were in control the whole first half. Could have went into the locker room 3-0 at halftime. Should have went into the locker room 13-0 at halftime. We talked about the punt instead of the field goal, right, Kadeem? And you mentioned how you really like, yo, we could have got some points. Why didn't we kick that field goal? It's only 55 yards. Not no gimme, but it's 55 yards. And I believe it was 12 minutes left in the second quarter. The second quarter had just started. And I believe Brian Flores said, look, we're up 3-0. It's early, the beginning of the second quarter. Let's pin them back and get good field position. It worked. We pinned them back, got great field position, held them. We should have went up. We're still, to no avail, we still stayed 3-0. Now, flip side is if you kick that at 55 yards, beginning of the second quarter, that's when you take risk. It's still early. You could come back from these risks. So I understand that. He opted to go with let's pin them back and get field position. It worked out. We just didn't capitalize. It was early. It was early in the second quarter. I don't mind kicking that, punting that. I really didn't mind it. Could he kick the field goal? What would it have changed, bro? You know what I'm saying? Like, so you telling me 6-0 would have felt better than 3-0 when we were just up 14-0 on the Raiders? You see what I'm saying? So to kick that field goal was not a significant, we're too lackadaisical and we're not taking enough risks. That's not significant enough. You had a 14-point lead. We couldn't even keep it. Carson Wentz has 2 peg legs and we couldn't beat him. You know what I'm saying? Like this, and I just had somebody in my day one group chat text this. This is my phrase. This is unacceptable. And he put slick voice. This is unacceptable. And it's unacceptable, bro. This is unacceptable. And I went off on a little, this is the fans team. I'm going to say it again. And this is not a shot at Flores. This is not a shot at Chris Greer. This is not a shot at Stephen Ross. Because we want to see them be successful. Like, this is the first coach that I've actually liked since who knows when. Wannstedt, maybe when Wannstedt was running Ricky Williams 100 times a game, maybe. And he wasn't even coaching. He was just saying, hey, make sure Ricky gets 30 touches. That's it. Sperano, he was cool. I didn't love Sperano. Rest in peace. You know what I'm saying? I didn't love Sperano. Jimmy Johnson was probably like the last coach that I liked. The last real coach that I liked on the Dolphins was probably Jimmy Johnson. So I like Flores. He changed the culture. The culture needed to be changed for the past 13 seasons on everything. It needed to be changed, and he changed it. Y'all know I met friend of the podcast, Robert Hunt. Ran into Austin Jackson, ran into Myles Gaskin. And there's a common denominator with the three of them. They all seem like awesome humans. They really do. They all seem like top shelf, blue chip character humans. All of them. They have it. Like when you approach Robert Hunt, like, dog seem absolutely cool. You know what I'm saying? Austin Jackson, man, this man, he feels like a superhero. Like, man, like donating bone marrow, you know what I'm saying? Like, bro, Myles Gaskin is a human. The human's human. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. Went out of our way, his way for us more than once. People don't even know. You know what I'm saying? So we got the blue chip character. So when I say this about Flores and Greer and Ross, this is not a shot, but this is reality. Reality is There were coaches before Flores. There will be coaches after Flores. There was GMs before Greer. There will be GMs after Greer. There were owners before Ross, and there will be owners after Ross. Fans are fans. Like, we were here before all of that. We were here before all of them. We'll be here after all of them. Like, we're not going nowhere. I'm not going nowhere. And I want a team that represents us, and we deserve a team that represents us. And this team is not representing us like we want to be represented. That's a problem, bro. And I know they feel some type of way about it. You know, I'm not saying they don't care. I'm not saying Flores is you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I'm going to my luxurious home, luxurious lifestyle and comfortable. Nah, I'm sure he loses some sleep. I'm pretty sure he does. Like, nah, this got my name on it. It just got my face on it. I'm sure he feels some type of way. But feeling some type of way is not enough, because you got the whole city, the whole fan base, not just the city, but across the pond, there's fans. There's people flying over the world to come to London to see the Dolphins. It's not enough to just feel some type of way, coach. It's not enough to trade Jakeem Grant, Greer. It's not enough to build a new stadium and get a new practice facility, Ross. I want winners.
Yeah.
Mike Singletary voice. Can't do it. Won't do it. I want winners. I want W's. I want to win. I want to go to the playoffs again, bro. I want to go to the Super Bowl. I want to see the Dolphins in the Super Bowl, bro. Can we make it to a Super Bowl and I feel some type of way like, man, we made it, but we didn't win? Okay. Does it seem like this is a team that's ready for a Super Bowl in the next 5 years, Kadeem?
What I love about that question is that had you asked me that 4 weeks ago, you asked me that question 4 weeks ago, and I would have said yes, 100%. I'm like, yo, I'm telling you now, yeah, you know, we've added Jalen Waddle, Will Fuller, Tua's going to make a step, the offensive line going to make a step up. We've got all these guys. 1 month later, I'm just going, I don't know. Now, I'm not one of those blow up and start all over again. But my word, it's funny what 4 weeks of football does. And you know what? I'll take it back. It's funny what 3 weeks of football does. Because after week 1, it was like, it wasn't pretty, but we won. And all of a sudden now, it's, where do we go next? How do we fix it? I'm seeing, it's funny how the narrative changes, yeah? I'm seeing people now turn around and say that Xavier Howard won us the game against the Patriots because Tua tried to throw it away. And I'm just like, dude, I'm like, don't do this. I'm like, don't change the narrative. Don't do it. Because on my life, yeah, someone's going to get a punch in the throat. Again, I'm tired. Like, it's just, let's get Tua back. And oh God, you can't even assess him because our O-line is buns and our play calling is buns. Oh my days. Do you know what? This isn't good for the audio podcast, but on video, just give me a second. Oh, dude, I could cry right now. I'm watching Man United bring in Cristiano Ronaldo and they're still buns. And I'm like, how do you do that? You bring in Cristiano Ronaldo and you're still buns. I'm watching the Miami Dolphins turn into a buns team. And what's making it worse is that, so United play on a Saturday and they lose. So I'm already in a bad mood. And then come Sunday night, the Dolphins lose. Somebody even like, I can't enjoy my weekends at the moment. Dolphins, I can't enjoy my... Oh, they've broken me 4 weeks in. And they're going to come to London and they're going to be buns.
No. We speak stuff into existence, bro. We're going to get it.
Charlie, we tried that. We tried speaking.
No. Ain't no time, bro. Listen. Am I the only one that believes that the Dolphins can hang with Tampa?
Yeah.
All right, so I'll be that. But listen, we're gonna right the ship. We're gonna right the ship. And shout out to Kadeem Simmons to have all the confidence in the world, to have never had a fight in his life, but to believe that he can be accurate enough to punch someone in the throat. Bro, you don't know how hard it is to be in a fight and want to hit the target that's moving and that's pretty quick, bro.
No, but that's the thing. Like, punch someone in the throat, I probably aim for the face and miss. I'm like, oops, and it's like I've got the throat. So I aim high. I keep on my hand up here, like the camera's up here. So I aim high, and again you can see the bent finger.
I seen
it
it
again.
I seen it earlier too. I was like, damn, that's wild.
So I'll aim high, and I'll get them here because right now the Dolphins aimed high, and you got me down here. So again, if I don't laugh, I'll cry. Please. Question for you, and it's what I'm seeing on social media, so I can only go by social media. Is it time to move Austin Jackson to left guard?
No, because we don't have somebody for left tackle.
So people said that you move Liam Eichenberg to left tackle because he played there in college. And again, I promise you this isn't what I'm saying, but what I'm seeing people on social media ask for is Austin Jackson to left guard and then Liam Eichenberg to left tackle. I don't even want to see who's at right tackle, but
Kadeem, we can't do that, bro. Listen, every game so far, I've seen something where Eichenberg did not look good. I'm like, oh, that's tough. But he's a rookie, and I'm cool. Everything cool. But that Patriots game, we were at the Patriots game. Eichenberg got sat down like just a bull rush, and like he just fell on his glutes. Like, yo, he got sat down like a little kid. You know what I'm saying? And me and Bert were like, ugh. And then they put it on the Jumbotron and the whole stadium was laughing. I'm like, whew, that's tough. First game, rookie. All right, cool. This is a man's game. Then I want to say the Raider game. I think Crosby hit him with a spin move.
Dude, Crosby spun him out of his cleats. Oh, my days.
Oh, all right. We won't go into depth, but I think, I like, it's a man's game. He's a rookie. Cool. Then against the Colts, it was just a simple speed rush. Simple speed rush, bro. And he was nowhere to be found. He was still buffering, like straight up. And DN ran right around him. So we need help on the right side. For anyone who says, oh, let's put Eichenberg to left tackle because he's better left tackle than Austin Jackson is right now, what does that tell you about the right side of our line when Tua comes back, which is the most important side of our line? I need someone to justify this.
But then at the same time, I kind of feel like we haven't answered the Austin Jackson's that question because like
that's the answer though. The answer, Kadeem, is who are you gonna put at left tackle if you put Austin Jackson at left guard?
Eichenberg. But again, no, hold on. So the thought behind it is Eichenberg played left tackle in college, just chuck him back there because that's what he done at college. It's not something I agree with because again, before we even drafted him, I was like drafted him playing right tackle. But I've seen people are saying you move Eichenberg to left tackle because Jackson is that bad. Like the stats is what it is. The stats show that he's the lowest graded offensive lineman for the Dolphins, definitely against the Colts. I think he's allowed the most pressure in the Dolphins O-line since week 1, and he didn't play week 1. And again, Eichenberg has come in and hasn't played amazing, but at the moment the focus is on Austin Jackson. And again, it's social media, and again, social media will react. Social media will tell you to fire Flores, Greer, and trade Watson. But I'm seeing a lot of people just say, Austin Jackson at left tackle just isn't the answer. And again, that's why I asked you.
I'm just saying, but anyone who says Austin Jackson isn't the answer at left tackle has to answer the other question first. What do you do at right tackle, bro? Like, so you're telling me you're just gonna abandon right tackle now? Like, there's that makes zero sense at all. I'm okay if someone says, "Yo, we need 2 tackles." Okay, tackles ain't playing the best right now. I can live with that. But you're not gonna go Eichenberg at left tackle because he's getting used at right tackle, and then put Jesse Davis back in at right tackle. You're not gonna do that.
Which I think what people are.
Robert Hunt is a guard, by the way.
Yeah, you said he's
no. We said this before we tried him at tackle, but if you look at Robert Hunt, bro, like in person, like this man is a guard, bro. This man is a guard. I don't understand like the logic behind the Dolphins drafting a guard and then putting him at tackle for a season, and then saying, okay, he's a guard. Yo, he was a guard before we drafted him. He was a guard. Don't worry about it. He was a guard. You know what I'm saying? I got my eyes on him. I'm like, man, look, this man is a guard all the way, bro. All the way. But go ahead, man. My bad.
No, that's cool. And again, something which you haven't touched upon. The Dolphins have brought in help on the offensive line in former Kansas City Chiefs center Austin. Is it Rita? Apologies for getting the name wrong. I've seen he was on the Saints practice squad, and people were saying, well, how bad is he because he's on the Saints practice squad, blah, blah, blah. It's like, well, he was a starting center for the Chiefs when they made the Super Bowl. And again, the Chiefs clearly want to upgrade. They're more than welcome to upgrade. It is what it is. But with Michael Dieter on IR, you're bringing in extra help. And, we asked the Dolphins to go and get offensive line help. They've done it. We might not like who it is. It might not be a massive name, but at this point, beggars can't be choosers. when the O-line is buns, anyone will do.
I'm glad you said that. You want to know why?
Why?
Deshaun Watson is not coming to Miami.
Oh, so very quickly, it must have been, was it last Thursday or Friday, when that guy came out on social media and was like, my sources have told me that on Monday the Dolphins are going to trade for Deshaun Watson and send Tua to the Washington for a second. And social media yesterday was like, yeah, it's Monday. The trade hasn't. So people still don't know what Flores and Guerrero are going to do because it's Monday and I'm seeing no trades. Oh, okay. So, yeah. Monday came and went and nothing happened.
Everybody listening on audio, Kadeem was looking at his timepiece like, is it go time or not? So, hey, listen, y'all, share, like, subscribe, comment. Me and Kadeem super busy, but we not too busy that we can't holler at everybody in the comments. So I'm home, like I'm back at the crib. I'm going to London. I'm off for a couple weeks. I'm gonna be chilling, just gonna interact with a lot of people. But Deshaun Watson ain't coming. I'm gonna tell you why Deshaun Watson ain't coming. Want to know why, Craig? Want to know why?
I was going to say something which would have got cancelled, so I'm just going to stay quiet and yeah.
This is why Deshaun Watson ain't coming. You telling me that the O-line is so bad? Apparently, the O-line is so bad that there's a first-round draft pick, Isaiah Wilson, out there. Might have baggage that we might not want. We brought him in. He's better than over half the people we have in the locker room as far as on the O-line. And we are so banged up and hurting for O-line help that we did not bring him back in. So we didn't bring Isaiah Wilson back in, and we have an actual need for O-line, right? And we did not bring him back in, and he's better than half of the O-line that we have right now. We didn't bring him in because of character issues, because he has off-the-field issues, because he has too much going on. But we're going to bring in Deshaun Watson? Deshaun Watson ain't coming, y'all. He's not. He ain't coming, bro. Like, I told Kadeem to stop sending me stuff, and he has, and I appreciate you. But I had to get that out one more time. Deshaun Watson ain't coming, bro.
Yeah, because Monday came and went, and Tua isn't in Washington, and Watson is, Watson shouldn't be focusing on. Yeah, Watson should start focusing on football and start, making sure his story is correct for the lawyers and stuff like that. That's what I'm saying. I'm just gonna itch my neck and just say, boy, like, yeah, you might want to get focused. Focus on, your legal case. Very quickly, yeah.
Yeah.
I can't wait for this. I've got my This is my Jags Texans profile, my media pass. When I got my Dolphins Jags one, cannot wait. And I just saw it hang out. Like, you know what? Yeah, fun times. Got Panthers Bucks. Bears Raiders.
So for everyone who's listening on audio,
And
Kadeem is saying this, and you guys are probably like, what is he talking about? So he's showing his media credentials, and those were all the London games. It looks like 5 London games that Kadeem had media credentials, and what he's saying was, I can't wait to get my Dolphins media credentials. How many is that? 5, 6?
4.
It's 4. So 4 different London games. You know what you're going to ask Flores, Kadeem?
I'm torn between, being straight, and I'm also torn between being like, why is the offensive line so bad? Like obviously I'm not going to ask that because they'll look at me and be like, get out. It's like, yeah, whatever. But I think a lot of it will just be like Flores is someone who doesn't give that much away. So asking him questions kind of feels redundant because he's not going to tell you the answer or what you want to hear. I would love to know why Gaskin, Gesicki, Waddle, barely get any touches. And he's just going to turn around and say, we look at the matchups. It's like, but you don't know. Because, again, have you seen the play where Brissett throws checks it down to, I think it's Gaskin in the flats, and Waddle is wide open down the field?
Yeah, but it wasn't like I seen it on Twitter. I seen what was going on Twitter, and I didn't see the actual replay, so I don't know what the O-line looked like. I don't know.
Good.
Hold on. All right, I don't know the drops. I don't know if it was a 3-step drop, 5-step drop. I don't know what it looked like. I just seen it floating on Twitter, and I didn't actually see the play. You know what quarter it was? Because I could watch it.
No, I can. I've seen the clip doing the rounds. I'll send it to you. I'll share it on the Go Time Dolphin Twitter account. But you know what? That's one of those things where hindsight is a wonderful thing. I'm sure if Brissett could have it back, he'd find Waddle. But probably as the game is going on, he's probably like, he probably got an internal clock in his head. I don't have time to find Waddle down the field. So easy check down, there you go. But 2 is the one that checks down.
Listen, fresh cut, fresh beard, fresh dolphin gear. Shout out to my Fitzmagic novelty. Less than 24 hours, me and LB will be boarding the plane, God willing, and it's going to London. A lot of hurdles still left to clear. We did our passenger locator form because these authorities gonna come checking for us. Like, hey, y'all boys quarantining or not? It's £1,000 fine if we get caught evading the authorities. Like, I still might do it. I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Like, I'm
out. Don't say that on air.
Oh, my bad. So look, yeah, I don't know what I don't know. We'll see. We'll fill it out when we get there. But bonus time coming up for sure. This is it, because we didn't know if this episode was going to be in London or not, but we snuck in the episode, and the very next episode is going to be Touche is in London, but Touche is back at the crib, like a couple thousand pounds lighter, like I guess dollars lighter. You know what I'm saying? Because I didn't make the trip. So we'll find out. Y'all stay tuned. Stay positive. Test negative. For Kadeem Simmons, I'm Charlie Touche. Thank you for tuning in this time. Make sure you catch us next time on Go Time. Already. Kadeem was no help. Bro, you were zero help helping me find like facilities, bro.
I was out.
Bro, you like the resident Londoner on the podcast, bro. Like I would think if you say, hey, Slick, I'm coming to Miami. You know, I gotta find X, Y, and Z. Can you help me out? I'm like, oh yeah, I know exactly where that is. I know this is where you stand. I ain't get none of that, bro.
What did you ask me?
It don't matter. I already got it.
No. What did you ask me?
I asked basically what part of London I was staying in because I got the address, but y'all zip code and postal code has letters and numbers in it. Our postal code only has numbers. It's weird. To me, it's weird.
You said, there's voice notes, there's all these kind of things, yeah.
Yeah, bro. You was MIA for like a week.
Pardon?
You were MIA for like you were missing in action for a while.
You called me, yeah, and I was literally like, I'm about to lose signal. I'm away for a few hours. I was at the cinema. I went to go watch the new James Bond film. I came out the cinema. I was like, oh, did you call? So you called me, and he was like,
"There's a James Bond joke in there somewhere."
Probably.
It is.
And then he was like, okay, you're in, like, you got your address for where you're staying, but it's in Greater London, and Greater London it could be like 2 hours away. So I was like, okay, you know, and then you said, oh, I'll call you back because someone called your phone.
So wait,
and you never called back.
Listen, man, we're not doing this on the air.
No. You called me out on the air. I'm about to defend myself.
Nah, because I no, you know why too. No, listen, we're staying. I want to say a 15-minute walk from Leicester Square, right?
Okay.
Is that Central London?
Yeah.
All right, Central London, Leicester Square. That's where it's at. Like that's where I was last time. I love walking around London. I ain't gonna lie to you. So we're staying about 15-minute walk from Leicester Square, and hotels already taken care of, flight already taken care of, COVID test already passed, got the results back, got to test again when we get there, got to test 5 days later when we get there. It's the craziest thing. Game tickets, the best game tickets. I cannot wait to last thing, bro. If we got to give these game tickets away to somebody, I'll be happy for them. You know what I'm saying? But it'll hurt my heart because I love where these tickets are. Anyway, we made it happen without our resident Londoner helping us. It's crazy. But when you come to Miami, bro, don't ask me like, hey, like, how do I get from the airport to Hard Rock Stadium? Like, where's the training facility again? Like, nah, bro, you on your own, Holmes.
That's cool. I'll ask you about Steve or Chris or JPF Scout. Like, dude, I have other friends in America. Like,
oh, off the top rope, Kadeem Simmons.
Off the top rope. Like, oh, Uncle LB.
I don't know. LB feels some type of way about you right now because you ain't help us. You might have to call Bert because Bert don't look like he coming. I got a ticket for Bert too, man. We got tickets on deck for Bert, man. Bert might not make it.
Oh, Bert, man. I was just looking from where you're staying to where I am now. It's like an hour away via train. Not too far. That's nothing. Like, that really is nothing.
Hey, look, man, we about to get up out of here. Kadeem got to get some sleep. I got to pack. London on the way. Y'all already know what time it is. Signing out.